copy about the questions only. Some teachers they start their own task assessment by using question. They provide the questions to the student before they begin their classroom. But as I remember that in our lesson plan, we have, in Belgian school, we have 7 steps. But basically, if we try to convert for the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport, I have found only 3 of them. They will start from pre-teaching, post-teaching, and pre-teaching, main teaching, and post-teaching. So in my teaching note, I also recommend 3 parts of this in order to achieve the result. Because if you try to take too long, 10 pages for the teaching, teaching plan, it's too much. Spend the teacher names, and especially the time, spend money, and especially they spend much energy. So it's too much. Just only 3 parts for this important. We call pre-med, post-poly, that they can be able to teach the student. They do understand much about it. They have time to do some research. And when the teachers and the other instructor have time to research, I think this result will be flowed into one of the education process that we want. Okay, so let me come up with in order to evaluate equality. So in order to evaluate equality, we have to know exactly what kind of test paper you are assigned, what test paper you are conducted. So what way, or what we call, how can you conduct your test paper? Sometimes your test paper look very nice, very excellent format, but the thing is that the student did not understand your concept. The student did not understand your construction direction. The student will not know exactly. They don't understand this, and the test will be out of there. So let me come up with this. We call item statistic. So when we talk about item statistic, normally in order to start and collect the other data from research paper or research project, we have to know exactly we use statistic. So what kind of statistic that you have to promote to use it in your research? So basically, I'm not really good at the mathematics so far, but I still want to show you something that is very necessary in order to do research. The first one is that mean, standard deviation. Those things will help you guys here to assign your research successfully. So we have to know exactly what is the item difficulty. Like I said at the moment, your test paper look very excellent, but the thing is that the student did not understand your lesson. The student did not know exactly what is your instruction about. So this is what we call difficulty, or we call item difficulty. And the last one not least, item discrimination. We are all a teacher. We try to discriminate. Discriminate means to separate the test paper into parts. So make sure your test paper is not very complicated. The student will not understand because they are also a part of human resources. We try to ask them. We try to give them more knowledge to gain on, and especially we can, deal with the other problem for them. So if your test paper is very complexity or very complicated, they do not understand, and the test is failed. So you cannot ask the student about the result. This is the problem we call discrimination test. All right, let me come up with the decision on the test item. So I would like to come up with 2 main important. The first one we call for interpretation. So for interpretation, we might know exactly what is interpretation. Interpretation means a kind of assessment, which is you start from your own presentation. You start from another kinds of research. You start from another, assignment. You provoke yourself. We come up with another task analysis. So according to some researchers, there are 4 main important skills that we have to learn and teach the student every day. And in Belgian group, and especially in Belgian International School, they also conduct 5 test paper, but included 4 macro skills. So the first one we call listening, speaking, reading, and writing, as well as the integrated and contribute people. So the word integrated and contribute mean, like I said at the moment, we combine together 4 skills. We have no choice. We have to combine 4 skills together and use it for the daily use, for the language use, and especially we call communication skill, or we call inter-communication skill. So another one we call is for decision making. So basically, if we talk about decision making, we know exactly what is it. Let's talk about the